to our YouTube channel. I am Rebecca the Reseller. I am a semi-full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, ThredUp, and I dabble in lots of other things. In today's video, we are going to talk about 12 Mercari sales that have been fantastic for me over the last couple of weeks and months on Mercari. So I'll be sharing with you some Mercari sales that have sold for $30, $40, $50 and share with you a little bit of tips and tricks or why it was a good sale to help you become a more disciplined sourcer and also a better seller on Mercari. But first, let me go ahead and invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We publish videos every Friday and they are all about reselling and growing your reselling business. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into these Mercari sales. So lately I have decided to take a couple of risks on some brands that I haven't sold in quite some time, and Tommy Bahama is one of them. So Tommy Bahama is a brand that I find here in Florida often, and so it's something where it's usually readily available, and so I used to sell it all the time, but I found that I wouldn't get that much for it or it would take a long time to sell. And even though it had a high retail value, I just wasn't finding, I guess, pieces that kept their resale value. But recently I decided to take a chance on this one. And so this is the Tommy Bahama Tika Tile scarf dress. Put this down as a Moroccan print, asymmetrical hem in a large or extra large. I do have a virtual assistant that helps me create my titles and descriptions. So sometimes she puts in some interesting things there. And so we had this up for $50 and it sold for $41 with free shipping pretty fast. Like I want to say within a day or two. And that's one of the great things about cross-posting with Vendoo over to Mercari is that you can get some really fast sales. And because Vendoo allows you to relist and delist so quickly, now even with their bulk feature, you can really get those quick Mercari sales by having fresh items all the time. So that was a great sale. Next up is this Wild Fox Skull and Bones sweatshirt. Wild Fox is known for these graphic, kind of oversized sweatshirts. And I will say, I feel like they are probably on their way out. They have sold for less money than they used to. I think they're more readily available now and they don't sell as quickly as they used to, but they definitely still sell. And so I pretty much list all of mine for about $50 and expect them to sell anywhere in the $25 to $35 range. And that's what happened here. And so this one sold for $33 with free shipping on Mercari. And I thought that was awesome. Next up is this New Tags Free People Michaela tunic. So we're trying to squeeze in all of those good keywords. And if you're not in the know of this, recently Mercari and then also Poshmark actually followed suit, and they followed eBay's lead and made their titles 80 characters. So it used to be that the titles of Mercari was I think 40, Poshmark was 50, eBay was 80. And so if you cross-posted on all of these different platforms, you would need to truncate or shorten your titles. And it was easy to do that in Vendoo, and Vendoo always gave you the opportunity to know exactly how many characters you had and how many you had left to go. But now you don't have to do any of that because all the platforms, Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, all have 80 characters. It makes it super easy. So this one is stuffed with all kinds of keywords there. We had this up for $50 and it sold for an offer of $38 with free shipping. I do, as you can tell, have free shipping on all of my items in Mercari. So this I thought was a great sale. Next up is the Couples silk top. So I had this up for $75. It sold for an offer of $38 with free shipping. This was a great sale. I've actually sold a couple of different items from this brand that when I get an item or I find an item that has a brand that I don't know, I make it a point to look it up. And I think that's the lesson here that I wanted to make is just to always make sure that you're checking comps, especially when you're new. It is time consuming, but it's time well spent because over time you will, as you do it more and more, you won't have to look up every single brand every single time. You'll get a sense for things. And so you'll know what you should price items at or what they typically sell for. And so my goal for you is to always go ahead and check those comps, spend that little bit of time so that you can build up that knowledge and that muscle memory so that you don't have to continue to do it in the future, but you can make educated buying decisions and then position your item in a best way to sell through the pricing. Next up is a custom bundle. So this ended up being a Wilfred top and a cardigan. And so what I did is when someone messages you and said, I want to buy this and this, there's really no way for them to do it other than for you to create a custom bundle for them on Mercari. And so if you go ahead and put 2 listings in one, or you go ahead and create a new one altogether with 2 listings in it, there's lots of different ways that you can kind of do those combinations. But I just went ahead and put the cover photo for each item. I put the measurements form for each item. I made a new listing. I called it a custom bundle with what it is. And then I went down here and included that it includes 2 items, what exactly they were based on their actual titles from my listings, did the pricing. And so we had talked about just doing a 20% off with free shipping. And so I had one priced at one amount, one priced at another amount. I totaled them up, took off 20%. That ended up at $58. I added in the free shipping, and that's the custom bundle. And I just sent her a note that said, hey, your custom bundle is ready. And you can actually even, there's like 3 buttons at the top on Mercari, and so you can share it and it will give you a link to that specific listing, and you can put that link in the message to the person that says, here's your listing, it's ready. And she went ahead and purchased it. So doing a custom bundle is great because you can get rid of 2 items to 1 customer. Next up is this Aritzia Babaton Contour Muscle Bodysuit, Tang Thong Cut Glimmer Blue Extra Extra Small. Again, stuffing in all those keywords. So there was a time where there were little cami tops and little bodysuits and like all this little stuff. And I'm like, you know, how much am I possibly going to get for this? I'm not going to sell this. I'm going to, you know, take it to my local buy sell trade store or send it to ThredUp. Like I was just like, oh, it's just not worth my time. Boy, was I wrong. Lately, I have sold camis, tank tops, bodysuits of all kinds for good money. And the reason why is because they were good brands that sold retail for a high amount, but also have good resale value. And many of them are from Aritzia. And so Babaton is one of those brands. The other one that I sold was Wilfred, and there are a couple of others as well. But those are the 2 that I kind of typically sell and find and, you know, like to do. So for me, selling this bodysuit, which was super easy to take a couple photos of and super easy to list, I sold it for $27 with free shipping. And I thought that was great. I had it up for $35, so $27 is wonderful. So that was a great sale. Next up is this NWT Tags Charter Club layered sweater. And this is actually cashmere. So it really should say cashmere in the title, and unfortunately it didn't. And oddly enough, it doesn't say it anywhere here, but it is cashmere. And so it was up for $75 and it sold for $43 with free shipping. And so for me, I love selling cashmere. If you've seen any of my videos, I pretty much talk about cashmere in every single one of my videos. And I just love selling it. And the moral of this story is cashmere is one of those fabric types that inherently has value. It is sought after. People want it. They don't actually care as much what the brand is. It is less brand sensitive. It might even be less style sensitive. And so you could find a cashmere sweater that's 20 years old, 10 years old, 5 years old, or brand new, and they can all sell. And it won't necessarily matter the brand, and you can get good money for it. So usually my strategy is to price a cashmere item anywhere from $60 to $75, knowing that I have free shipping on Poshmark and Mercari, and knowing that it's probably not going to sell for that amount. And then brand would play in whether it's a $60 item or a $75 item. But I'm figuring that I want to at least get $30 for it. And if it shakes out somewhere in the $30 to $50 range, that's fine with me. So for me to get $43 for the Charter Club, I'm good with that. I'm super good with that. Next up is a NWT Tags Chico's Drama Jacket in Rambling Red. So this one I had for quite some time and it just didn't sell, but I knew that eventually someone would want it. With Chico's, it's one of those brands that's kind of a tried and true for people. It was brand new with the tags. I was able to locate the stock photo here. I didn't end up actually showing any of my own photos. I was trying to kind of like, you know, do a quick one. And so with this, it's like you just kind of have to get a feeling over time of what items Might take a little while, but you know they're going to sell, and this is one of them. Chico's with their outerwear and their open front coverall kind of, little blazers and cardigans and jackets. These are just good items that people want and need all the time, and they rely on Chico's. They know their size in Chico's, and they know that it's going to go well. And so for me, $31 with free shipping on this item was great, and I'm super happy for that sale. I don't sell everything of Chico's anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Now I'm much more selective. Next up is this Bowden Dottie shift dress in blue, size 8R. Bowden is one of my favorites to sell. I just think it has a good following and pretty much a really good sell-through rate for me. I'm sure there's a few pieces that are probably maybe an older style or something that I have up because I'm like, oh, it's Bowden, let me list it. And so they might take a longer time to sell, or maybe won't sell at all. But many, many items, especially if it's a newer style, does quite well. And so most of the items I'm putting up anywhere in the $50 to $75 range. This one I had up for $50. It sold for $33 with free shipping, and I was very okay with that. I'm happy to sell a Bowden dress for $33, and the person got a great deal because that's probably a $130 dress. It works. It works. Next up is a new with tags Athleta Brooklyn Jogger size 14. So Athleta is another one of my favorite brands to sell. It has a style number, so you can always find the style name. Whether you choose to use a stock photo or not, you can always pull great keywords and information out of being able to find that original listing. And people do like it. And it's priced pretty expensive, and it can in certain pieces hold its resale value. So for this, I don't remember what the retail price was. Let's see, what's the retail? Maybe 80, 98. So the retail price is 98. I had it up for 75 and it sold for 40 with free shipping. Again, these were new with the tag. So this is a great sale. I feel like skirts, leggings, and pants probably do the best. Lately, I'm not having luck with dresses, and sometimes the outerwear can do well, like cardigans and sweaters and things. For me, I haven't really had good luck with jackets. So you learn over time as you really get to know a brand and find that this is something I can find easily. It's something that sells well for me. I'm going to continue to seek it out and sell it on purpose. And so many of these brands that I've talked about so far are brands that I do that with. They've worked out for me in the past. Maybe I took a chance on them at one time. They worked out for me in the past, and so I continue to seek them out and choose to sell them in my store. Now, there's lots of other brands, like even the Chico's, that I find regularly in plenty. They're there, they're cheap, and they are in good condition. But I choose not to sell it because I don't think it's going to make me enough money, or I don't think it's worth my time, or I don't think it's something that's going to sell quickly enough for me. And so you over time develop that reseller sixth sense that will allow you to make better choices based on the nuances of the brand, of the item type, of what it's made of. All of those things are critical. And so if you consider them as a whole and not just, oh, I should buy and sell all the Athleta, or oh, I should buy and sell all the Chico's, really dive into that brand and kind of decide what works for you, what do the comps and solds show, and based off of your own solds, of course, what works best for you going forward. Those are all things that I consider when I'm making these kinds of decisions. Next is DKNY wool midi frock shift dress. So this came to me in a bulk order, and so it's not really a brand that I would seek out on purpose. There's definitely a market for it, but I don't think it's a quick sale. I had this on ThredUp, then I decided to list it myself, and so it sold. It was up for $50. It sold for $35 with free shipping. That's great. I am so happy for that sale, but it's not one of those items where if I had the pick of 100 items that I would totally seek this out to pick it. I think it's making the best of something that I received in a bulk order and it happened to work out, but I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy all the DKNY, but still a great sale and I'm happy for it. And the Piece de Resistance is a brand that I think either we all know and love, and if you can find it, you love selling it and you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, put this on your BOLO list, put this on your reseller bingo list, and try to find it if you can. It's Aviator Nation, and right now, I guess it's all the rage. So this is a 70s ringer tee, extra small, and I put it up for $100. It's like crazy what you can get for these. It's just a t-shirt, and I sold it $57 with free shipping. Yes, 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 yes. Usually it sells quickly. Usually it sells for over $50. Depends on what it is, but this worked out really well and I was super pleased with it. Thank you so much for watching today's video, 12 sales on Mercari. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Vendoo YouTube channel for more useful reseller information and Vendoo software updates. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!